So I'm back in the CBD, my favorite building, the one that I performed not too long ago at Doke. Yeah, I always come back here, and I will always come back here. So much going on, and today I'm visiting a homie, Lucky. And I have 5 more weeks left in Johannesburg right now before I go back to Germany, and I'm trying to just somehow make everything happen that I still want to do, and one of it was to come back and yeah, see the homie.
You know how it is, Mr. MT up in here, you know, graffiti artist extraordinaire, the mayor of Johannesburg graffiti. You know how we run things, everything cooks.
2018, you know, we're gonna look back at this time, we were like, wait, this was back then in 2018, you know?
Oh, we're making
history right here. So yeah, we in your studio, right?
Yeah, it's my studio, man. It's my heart and soul, yeah.
That's where you spend how many hours a day, bro?
I spend over 10, 15 hours, you know.
Yeah, that's
more than like people who go to fucking their jobs and stuff, you know. I'm here like at 6 in the morning, up until 10 or something at times, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's not a job, it's a life, right?
Absolutely.
How did you start, man? I mean, you have, I will show some pictures, you have developed your own style, so I'm sure there was a long way, you know? Like, what did you start off, what was your, like, the first art you created?
I would say the first art I created was based around, copying stuff that I was seeing on TV, like popular stuff from Mickey Mouse, Superman.
Oh really?
You know, yeah.
Like
and,
Disney stuff also?
Absolutely, yeah. And then eventually caught on to the graph, you know, which is more relevant for me since I'm from the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? I've never always had this and whatnot. I'm from, humble beginnings and whatnot. So I got into graph through, riding trains to school and stuff. I'd see like the OGs at the time, they were rocking it. And for some reason I've always seen it, like growing up watching, rap music videos and stuff, so I always saw it and I always knew that it was something I wanted to do. Up until, I met up with the right guys. Actually, they never put me on. Kind of, had to learn the hard way and stuff, So yeah, my come up is basically graph, but I've been drawing throughout my whole life. And through graph, I fell in love with like lettering and stuff, typography, that's what they call it, and I decided to, take it a little bit more further, I think it makes a lot of sense,
For the people that don't know, typography is like writing, yeah?
Yeah, it's like
the style of
art.
writing.
Yes.
So,
or painting with words.
Yes.
This, obviously, it's what Rodney King said, when he caught a beat down from the racist white cops in America and shit. I don't even know if I was born at that time, And
really dope. I love that club. Look at this club, man.
Yeah,
that's like,
I mean, I always try to incorporate it with violence. Like I said, I grew up in a gang-inflicted area and stuff, So I saw violence, but I took the positive out of the violence, It was never something I embraced, but I can only embrace it here, So I would say in my previous life, I might have been a gangster. I might have been rocking with Al Capone in there,
No, I know what you're saying. Like it's the same with me in music. I need that bars. I need that aggression in the music.
Exactly.
That's for me. Yeah. If I don't have that, if I wouldn't have had that,
straight up,
man. Up. So you went out. You were like doing your graffiti bombing trains?
I mean, I did like a few trains, because I mean, like the trains in SA are not really that easy to do, but I'm more of a street bomber actually. You know, I went all around the city doing tags, market tags, throw-ups, you know, and then eventually I started doing pieces and whatnot, you know.
Can you like still remember going out to like do your first like bigger piece, like, you know?
I think I kind of did.
Your first, like the rush and everything that goes with it, because I still remember when I was like 14, 15, you know, you meet up at like 1 in the morning.
Absolutely,
you go out there and you try not to be seen, not to, you know?
I did my first one, I was still at home in Soweto, back home in Soweto, and it's weird enough because I had no knowledge, you know, there was no internet at the time, there was no references, we didn't have any books, you know, so I went out with my dog actually, with some paint that I had stolen at some hardware, you know. By stealing, I mean, I didn't go and steal it, I talked to the guy who was working there. I think they called merchandisers and shit. I gave him like 20 bucks, he gave me about 6 cans, you know, and
that's a good deal, my friend.
You know what I'm saying? So I went out, you know, I wrote my name, which is my real name, like Lucky and stuff, and to look back at it, I think it was not so developed, but I mean it was like legible, people could read it, and I sort of became a neighborhood star, you know. Everybody fucked with my shit, man. You know?
Get respect for that one.
You know what I mean? But because of where I came from, nobody had ever done that, you know. Or if they did do it, it was like they were just doing tags, but I was bold enough to just go out and do a piece, you know. But I mean, I wouldn't consider it a piece based on my standards right now, but it was a piece to me, you know.
But yeah, I mean, I remember when I went out, I was bad, but my homie was really good. So he would draw the outlines for me, and I would do the fillings.
Exactly.
Would get high on the pens, draw like second outline, you know.
Straight
took a picture, was proud as fuck.
That's what you would call your mentor and stuff, you know, or your OG, you know. But with me, unfortunately, I never had somebody like that, you know. I just came up by myself, and then eventually I linked up with the proper cats, you know.
So, that was a long way to where you are now, right?
That's about 13, 14 years ago. My man said, you know, I don't know if we got enough light, you know.
No, perfect to see you.
I have a vector of this, it also has sold, you know. This is also there, you know, you saw this motherfucker here, you know. So this is my man's here, fucking Slayer Cares, you know, on lock, you know. I'm wearing one of his fucking merchandise, Everyday Crooks, you know, on lock, you know. We're establishing ourselves, man, independently and shit.
How is your life now? What does it look like, and how do you want it to look in the future? Or are you actually happy where you're at right now? Or, I mean, you always maybe happy, but you always have.
I embrace it. I kind of embrace it. I mean, I won't lie, dude. I mean, I come from nowhere, you know, so I'm happy to be here, you know, and fortunately enough, I got like myself a little education, you know. I went to study like design and advertising, and halfway through it, you know, it didn't really work out that way, you know, so I had to bounce off school. So I was struggling, I was at my mom's couch, just drawing, you know, but I always kept my head up, you know. To have this kind of, you know, place or studio, I'm really thankful, but I'm looking forward to bigger things actually, you know, because I would say I kind of finessed my own way or my own path or my own avenue in terms of art, you know, and in the future I'm looking at doing shows, I'm looking at collaborating, I'm looking at traveling and even devastating the whole fucking world, man, you know,
Did you ever go out of the country?
I've been outside the country a few times, but like as far as in going abroad, I've never actually gone abroad.
Where's like the top 2 places you would like to go, like for that you always thought I have to go there and like mix with the with the people that side?
I'd say the Mecca to me would be New York and obviously like Germany and stuff, you know.
Nice, man.
And I have a lot of friends in Germany. I'm coming, yo.
No, I mean, you see, when I'm in actually that's in the 90s, huh? When I was a teenager, so there was already graffiti everywhere. Like you had crews, that was a thing actually.
True,
that's when back then you had like the poppers and the skater would do graffiti, you know? So there were like big crews all over Germany, and it was a big thing. I used to always sit in school and draw, you know, you would start do tags and all that, but it was already big. Like you would always then, you know, you have always an eye when you with the train, or you see this, or that guy is here, that guy, you know. Yeah, Germany was on it a lot. I mean, early. And obviously, I think it doesn't matter where you are in the world. When it comes to hip hop, break dancing, graffiti, rap, you would back then maybe watch some VHS.
Yeah, definitely.
People in New York and stuff.
we had like a channel that was called Pop TV here in SA. You know, they had little content, you know, but they would switch off, let's say from 9 until like 6 in the morning. So they were just playing like 90s rap music videos and stuff. I mean, it was the 90s up until the 2000s when, I mean, rap was really good and stuff. So also that's like where I also drew a lot of influence as well too. That's how I got to know the culture. That's how I got to know all the heavy hitters and stuff, because I'm a really big hip hop fan, you know, like you can name any classical song, I'll give you the lyrics and shit, you know. So yeah, I caught on to that very easy and early, and also like my family, like in Soweto, you know, it's like a party kind of fucking town, you know. So like if we had a bra or barbecue, you know, they would play like your Notorious B.I.G., you know, your Craig Mack, your Kid Moraine shit, you know. So yeah, I caught on very early. I mean, it's part of like the whole culture and stuff, you know. This is still in progress, but the main influence is nickels and dimes, you know. I drew a lot of references from, you know, Scrooge McDuck, you know, all the classical Disney stuff, you know. But the twist here is that he's getting robbed. So as you can see, this guy is hypnotizing him, you know, and he's giving up all the coins and shit.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you're gonna see it when the piece is finished, and I try to play around with a lot of abstract shit too.
Is that influenced by Josie?
A lot of Josie, yes. You can see the
just get mugged
and shit.
You just get mugged.
We hypnotize you, we take your money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I actually gonna go to New York this year, bro. I'm gonna like give a shout out to the people, man. I'm sure gonna do some interviews that side too.
That's the Mecca, man. Show them this video, man. They've influenced us. Fortunately enough, you know, we've had a few gentlemen from that side to come this side, you know, and you know, it's completely different, obviously, but in terms of you know, the dynamics and stuff, as in, you know, people are not, you know, like how it was actually when they were coming up, as in like the Graffiti Revolution. The city was bankrupt, so they could paint trains, and the city couldn't afford to clean them off and stuff. So it's pretty much similar to what's going on here, you know, like as in like the authorities don't really give a shit about graph to that level, you know, so you can do a tag and it can live for over 4 or 5 years, you know what I'm saying?
We talked about it earlier, like here they don't really care, you know? In Europe, if they find out, they take all your money.
Absolutely, that's all you're gonna do, just give up your goods, man.
I remember a lot of people got bankrupt in the early age. Man.
Can I have one of your cigarettes, please?
Sure, bro. I just wanna like know a little bit about your background. You said you're from Soweto?
Yes.
Soweto, obviously a very big part, big place. So can you tell me a little bit like how you grew up, you know, when everything started, you know, something that you remember? Just a little bit to give the people a picture of a guy here in Josie that grew up in Soweto, you know, give them a little bit background how it used to be, and, you know.
Okay, now it's more like you know, it's more like a working class suburb, but like when I came up, you know, that was like in the early 90s, you know, I'm talking 93, 94, well, I was like a little kid, you know, at the time, you know. probably I hadn't even started school, but like there were gangs and shit, you know. So we used to look up to those cats, you know, like fucking yeah, definitely, man, you know.
Thanks, bro.
Aware. So it was like gangs, you know. It was swag, you know. It was the music. It was the culture, you know. But I wouldn't say it was a nice place, you know. We could only see or maybe we were told or just made to see the nicer parts of it, but it wasn't really a nice place. Even now, I wouldn't say it's a nice place, you know. It's really nice because the people make it nice, but it's bad surroundings, you know what I'm saying? It's the ghetto, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this one here, actually.
This up here?
Yeah, my goggles chakalaka. So my standard design here, I kind of took into the culinary stuff. I love food, man. You know, I'm a big eater, you know.
Explain to the people what chakalaka is.
Chakalaka, it's South African salad, you know, which has a little twist on the Mexican salsa. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to create.
Like everyone eats it.
Absolutely.
Chakalaka,
it's like our side, you know, it's our side. You'll be eating Greek salad, we eat chakalaka, you know, and pap. Tough times it's chakalaka and pap, good times it's chakalaka and horse, you know. So yeah.
What is like a type of sausage for everyone?
Exactly, yeah. This is nickels and dimes. That's the same shit I was telling you about. So with my work, like with the paintings that I'm trying to do, I try to recreate shit that I've done or sample pieces and stuff. I mean, you guys are gonna see it, you know, when the work is like finally complete. So this lettering is gonna be the same shit that's in here, but now it's painted, you know. And by the way, all these joints here are drawn first, you know, there's drawings over there.
Yeah, just like you're busy with this one here.
Work, yeah.
All handmade.
By any means necessary, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, here's the influence again, you know. I mean, I have a poster. I mean, I can show it to the viewers on, but it's been sold, you know. I get to sell some work as well, motherfuckers, you know. And I make editions, you know. So if you all wanna buy, to just hit me up or talk to my man's cousin.
Yeah. Now we're gonna put all your information in the subscription, so people can contact you, man. You know, and then you buy me beer when I come back.
It's Mickey Mouse smoking a pencil, you know what I mean?
Chilling hard.
Word up. It's Mickey Mouse smoking a pencil, you know, so that's when I used to blaze a lot, you know, so I kind of gave it a twist, you know, turn the pencil into a blunt, you know, so it's all hand painted and shit. That's my kick-ass view right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is great. I fell in love with this building.
It's 3 beers the whole night, so fucking...
I know, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like...
Are we also from FMB now?
It's on the house. I was like, oh, fuck.
What for you, like back then, did you start by yourself or did you have like you said you didn't have a mentor, but did you like have some cats and you're like, are we gonna do something different, you know?
I had like cats that I looked up to, you know, but I mean, I was still young, so I had direction, but they couldn't see it because I'm even better than all of them right now, you know, but they wouldn't put me on, you know, they wouldn't put me on. They always laugh behind my back and shit, but I mean, that had never stopped me, you know. I always, you know, I saw what I wanted to do, and I'm still at it even right now, you know. And half of them, they like, you know, trying to jump into what I'm doing right now. They're always asking me for advices and shit, you know. But I mean, it's still love, man. I love my people and shit, you know.
Alright, man. So let me just pause and stop.
Shouts to my homie guys over there, you know.
What up?
Family right there, you know what's happening. Yeah, this is my man's G-Monk's work, you know. Shouts to the
this is mad old shit. I'm coming out, don't worry.
Are you leaving your stuff on your art?
Nah, this is just some old shit, man. It doesn't mean it's nothing, you know.
It looks like something.
Oh yeah.
Let's show you, man.
But anyway, yeah, I did this thing like 4 or 5 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so he's like one of my main influences too, you know what I mean? Like, shouts to this homie, you know, we feed off one another and stuff, you know. He's one of the most slept on and very talented dudes that I know, you know. That's how I also rock with him too, and he's a genuine you know, he's my brother, you know, we're not just friends, we're family, you know what I'm saying?
That's the plan, man, you know, just let everyone know what's going on here in Jersey, because it's something special. With me coming from Europe, I just feel like it's so raw. That's why I also get the energy of the city, bro, because it's just inspiring, because it's all kind of underground. This is before it blows up. This is the days that people will talk about in 10 years.
I can feel that shit happening, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely at that transition where, as in, I mean, I started like quite a few years ago, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've watched the progression of the scene as well, you know, I've been a part of it from an early, like, you know, really early era. Whereas in even the cats that influenced me in those early years now, I've sort of overtaken, but at the same time, because we realize that, you know, the scene is still so fresh here, but it's not like nobody's traveled and done shit. There's like some really like real shit that's been done, you know?
Yeah.
But there's so many different elements that have been skipped because graffiti started just so late. You know what I'm saying?
When did it start?
Like certain styles of graffiti started in Cape Town in like the late 80s. And it started to develop, and dudes from Cape Town moved to Joburg, and then started to paint in the late 90s, and that's when a lot of guys came.
Did it start in the flats in Cape Town for South Africa?
Yeah, like, in a way, because that's where the b-boys came from, you know? So like Khocha, I think, was one of the b-boys in BVK.
So what really happened is original members of the Zulu Nation, they came down to Cape Town at the time, you know, like Africa Bambada and stuff. So they established a chapter of Zulu Nation there. So there was a rise of like b-boys in the whole b-boy culture.
And some of them wrote graph. You know what I'm saying? So then eventually homies just started writing.
So they moved up here, but I would say like it took a while for graph to develop.
Style, dude.
The early days.
Before we had access to internet, you know what I mean?
So there was no reference, so all you had to do was use your imagination and stuff.
Like the little bit of shit that you had seen in books, maybe, you know?
Or music video, you know,
were
just
lucky enough.
pause a music video or something, you know, if you had a tape.
I never had a computer when I came up, or no fucking satellite, or no social media.
I think in Germany I was lucky because sometimes end of the 90s we got MTV, and we had like our own hip hop show, and they would like cover what's going on with hip hop. So I think we had an advantage on that one. But I think that's always exciting in every country, how hip hop culture came in, you know?
Yeah, definitely, bro.
And now when I see this here, how I said, it feels like maybe it's gonna take 10 years, 15 years before it really blows up. But this style, you know, you like in a dope-ass building with that view. If you like in other like Western cities, you can't afford that. Only big artists can afford that.
You know, the thing is, like, hip-hop's like a seed, bro. It grows differently in different soil, you know, around the earth and shit, you know? And that's how it is, bro. And it, you know, it's the same fucking strain. It's just growing differently in a different soil, different climate, you know? We put our own fucking touch to it, you know?
I just feel these days are the days that people are gonna talk about. In the future, it's like, these were the dope days. Josie.
Come to visit us, man.
Yeah, you find.
Come by the art too, you know. Everyday crooks, man. Shouts to everybody else that's doing it though, you know.